Hello there, I'm Vine and today I have for you an Empire build fully focused on pop growth, with explanation on how this pop growth actually works in 4.0. If you wanna skip to it, the timestamp is in the description below. This originally was supposed to be maximum pop growth renew for 4.0, but the number of bonuses and variations between them is too big for a cohesive build, so instead of maximizing, I optimized it instead. Also, in the previous version of this build, I've made many unwholesome innuendos and I'm ashamed of it. Not because it's bad or because YouTube censors stuff, no, but because this type of humor is cheap and easy and everybody is doing it. So this time I'm gonna be wholesome. We will fully focus on making children without being lewd in this build. 100% family friendly, or you get your money back, the full price of 0 złotych that you paid me to watch this vid. Let's do this! Starting with the origin, we take the clone army to clone ourselves more of the initial population. Mind that beside this pop rush, this origin is not necessary for the key build features, so you can change it if you plan for the long play. Moving to ethics, we need any degree of Xenophile to wholesomely accept Xenos in our society. I emphasize the wholesomely part. We are not allowed to loot them. Keep your kirks and shepherds in check here. From civics we take Planetscapers for +10 pop growth on planets because a healthy environment helps rising children and keeps everyone's vigor on high levels. So pops have energy to look after the kids, of course. Genesis guides for quick Xeno pops and great source of unity. Again, same as with clones, this is a rush option and it's not necessary for long plays. Pleasure seekers as third civic or alternative for Genesis guides, to change civilians into Hedonists that increase pop growth by plus 0.5% because they are less stressed by having totally platonic parties with friends all the time? Okay, let's go with that. As for the rest of Empire creation features, they are completely optional, including species starting traits. But again, it's the time to mention precursor pick. The must-have this time is Baol, as the relic gives plus 10% pop growth speed, spawns plantoid pops, and terraforms planets to Gaia worlds that have 100% habitability for all. Still, it's pain to get them in-game as it operates on archaeological sites that can be stolen by other empires or just not spawn, so don't feel bad about not getting it. Now we can jump into the game and look at the options there, starting with the Clone Army event. Upon maximizing the population by building ancient cloning vats to their limit, we excavate the clone site and choose to make our clones to switch their reproduction to normal way, so they can marry Xenos later. From traditional trees, beside the Ascension one, we only need the expansion for a new life tradition that gives plus 10% pop growth speed. Nothing encourages starting families more than cheap housing and low bills. As for the perks, we need a few. Xeno-Compatibility to allow Xeno marriage and get plus 20% population growth because of it, since compatibility keeps local communities open. Also, having some genetic variation in the clone population is quite healthy for the pops. Enigmatic engineering to give us access to one of the key buildings. More on that later. As for the Ascension, we ascend with Biomorphosis perk and during the event pick. Cloning first for Genomic Growth tradition that increase Genomic Researchers assembly bonus by +1. Anything for the second pick, and Mutation as the third pick for Nucleotide Isolation that gives us unique traits. Then we pick cloning as tradition 3 to increase efficiency and number of clone vats for platonic reproduction. Now we can modify our population to be more efficient with reproduction. The first trait we need is fertile for plus 30% pop growth bonus, as every married couple deserves a few children or more. Second is budding for plantoids and fungoids, so mainly for our primary species and Baol, that gives 0.02 pop assembly per 100 pops of the species. As third is any of the three nucleotide isolation traits, since all of them have plus 5% pop growth, because it makes pops better at living in their environment. We can actually take all three on pops without the budding trait. Moving to edicts, we must take Nutritional Plenitude for plus 10% pop growth speed from access to healthy, home-cooked food. As for the key buildings, we need clone Vats for pop assembly, gene clinics, genomic research facility, and Molecular-Revitalization institutes for genomic researchers jobs that give bonus to pop growth speed, pop assembly, and organic pop growth multiplier. Mind that now the clone Vats have increased planet cap and institutes are completely uncapped, so we can stack them on planets to get insanely high bonuses that will be also indefinitely increased by Hedonists. As for the build, this is all. Now it's time for pop growth mechanics explanation. I know it's counterintuitive to give it after the bonuses, but bonuses are easier to understand. Base growth on a planet is just 1, and it's increased by the logistic growth value that is calculated from the ratio between overall population and planet capacity, where the planet capacity equals extra housing plus planet type multiplier times 3 districts plus pops. Sadly, I don't have a diagram portraying it for you, but we just need to know that we must have some extra housing on the planet, which is around 1/4 of the population number to get this bonus. If you played previous versions of Stellaris, that whole thing is almost the same as before. This base growth gets multiplied by pop growth speed bonus, which is sum of all percentage bonuses we got plus the base 100%. Nice and easy to understand, hard to calculate due to game rounding down the visible numbers. Then we get a bonus growth, which is just a pop assembly renamed. Why it's renamed in 4.0? Because its mechanics changed significantly. The main bonus is calculated quite simply by summarizing all bonuses and dividing it between all species on the planet. This division does not influence overall bonus, but the type of pop that will be increased. This bonus gets multiplied by organic pop growth multiplier, that again is a sum of all percentage bonuses we got plus the base 100%. Then those numbers get summarized and the growth scale penalty is applied. This penalty is of course based on our overall population multiplied by the scale from the game settings. It's logarithmic, so it never gets to minus 100. Finally, the calculated number each month is divided proportionally between all the pop groups on the planet with some random drift. This is where mentioned bonus growth division and species bonuses are taken into account. So we have varying pop groups increasing each month. Migration does not take part in the pop growth anymore, as its mechanics was shifted to unemployed pop resettlement. So instead of making new pops, it just teleports them between planets. This also means that now empires that have migration pacts with us can steal our unemployed pops, including civilians. So watch out for that. That's all pop growth explained as simply as I could do it. If you still don't understand, don't worry, because blindly stacking bonuses works just as well as stacking them with deeper understanding. Now we can get back to the build, as it's time for evaluation. In multiplayer, it's a maybe. Traditionally, all pop growth related builds especially with Xeno-Compatibility, were universally shunned and often banned in multiplayer games. But this time, it does not produce lag or hybrids, which means it's technically multiplayer valid now. In single player, it's pop printing. The bonus growth number with this build goes into hundreds. This number never should reach hundreds, and yet here we are, winning the game with nothing else but the pure population growth. As for the roleplay, it's pronatalism. Start a family today! The state will give you free land in a colony, social support with relaxing community festivities, full of healthy homemade food. The only thing you have to do is sign this marriage certificate with your new fungoid wife and spawn 5 kids that also will be cloned 2 times for backup. This is technically a mandatory citizen service, but your consent is still important. Anyway, what do you think about this build? Write your opinion in the comments, remember to visit channel's Discord, and wholesomely see you later!